This is a bit of a technical video about GEC linear lessons, which we can assemble them into adaptive lessons. So we can convert these into adaptive lessons, or we can deliver inherently adaptive lessons as linear. Now what's the difference? Well, a linear lesson is just you go through one problem after the other in a sequence until you're done. It's just non-adaptive. It's simple. What's an adaptive lesson? Well, adaptive lesson is where, if you get problems correct, you go up. If you get problems incorrect, you go down. And we might have shared this with you on a different video. Here's one of our adaptive learning algorithms. This is our default algorithm. But if you pass a couple times, you get a harder version of the problems, right? But if you fail, you get an easier version of the same problem. Of course, if you fail twice, we don't want to torture you, the students, so we let them go on. Pass a couple times, you go up. Fail, you go down. So that's adaptive. Now, what I mean by being able to assemble linear lessons into adaptive lessons, I could show you here just in a CAFR test where we had many linear questions. They're just questions that we took and from linear problems, and we assembled them. You see where it says build problem here? Basically, it takes a minute for all of these to load, but this is loading up all of the A1 lessons in the system, because a linear lesson, we're going to usually mark it as either A1 lesson or an A2, right? So these are all marked as A1 lessons, and now I can choose individual problems from, this lesson might have 20 problems in it. Well, I can choose as many problems as I want from any of these lessons, and I can assemble a mixture of problems from different lessons. Here they're all A1, but if I go to the A2 level, it takes a minute for it to load. See, now these are all A2 problems. So, so I can assemble problems from A2. So these linear lessons, they still exist. I can deliver them as just pure linear, or I can assemble them into an adaptive relationality, and I can deliver them in this format instead. So that's just briefly how we can take linear lessons, assemble them into a stack here, and then deliver them as adaptive. Now what about lessons that we create initially as inherently adaptive? Well, we can also deliver those in a linear form. So let me go into a teacher's account where I can show you that. There's quite a bit of complexity to this, but basically right here, this engine, it says it's a linear, it's set as linear, and it's delivering at the A1 level. But if I set this to adaptive, then it's just going to deliver. It's not going to deliver just the A1. It's going to deliver all of the levels, and in that adaptive way where it goes up and down. See? So I can change this from linear, and I can choose the B2 version if I want it to make it really hard for the student, or I can change it to adaptive and let the difficulty float as per the student's level.